Ever wonder how those massive 4K multi-screen setups at sports bars don't just instantly collapse into a lagging, pixelated mess?
Yeah, considering the physics involved, it's honestly a miracle it works at all.
Right. Well, today's deep dive is based on tech specs and user data from HDTV Supply. And our mission today is unpacking the invisible backbone making all that happen.
Unpacking a very, very tiny backbone, actually.
Exactly. We're looking at the AJA 12GDA 12G-SDI 1x6 Distribution Amplifier, which is quite a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, yeah. But we're talking about a piece of gear that tackles a massive physical problem. Because pushing 12 gigabits per second through traditional copper Cockham's cables is, well, it's intense.
It's a staggering density of data.
Right, and you're taking one pristine 4K or Ultra HD input and outputting 6 separately buffered signals. And you have to do that without a single dropped frame.
And it's doing this from a box that's, what, only 5.8 by 3.1 inches? It weighs less than a pound?
Yeah, it basically fits in the palm of your hand.
Since you listening already know the basics of what a distribution amp does, let's look at the sheer physics here. Getting 12 gigs across a facility, I mean, it's like a high-pressure water system.
Oh, that's a really good way to put it.
Like you plug one main hose into a manifold,
Yeah.
and you need to get 6 equally powerful streams out, but without losing any pressure. That is basically what we're doing with data here.
Exactly. And that brings us to how this device actually preserves that signal integrity across long distances. Because you'd naturally think splitting a signal 6 ways makes it weaker.
Right, that does make sense.
But it relies heavily on cable equalization. See, when a massive digital signal travels down a copper cable, the high-frequency parts of that signal are the first to degrade. They just roll off.
So the equalization is specifically boosting those high-frequency components.
You've got it. It flattens the signal back out, which explains the crazy distance numbers in the specs we looked at.
Yeah, it maintains a heavy 12G signal over 70 meters of standard coax. Or it pushes a lower 270 megabit signal, an insane 405 meters.
Which is just wild for standard copper wire.
Wait, I have to play skeptic here for a second. If the signal arriving at the DA is already degraded and jittery from traveling those 70 meters,
Yeah,
doesn't amplifying it just give you louder, messier jitter?
that is exactly what would happen if it were just a dumb amplifier. But this DA utilizes a process clocked reclocking.
Okay, reclocking.
Yeah, it doesn't just clean the incoming signal. It uses a phase-locked loop to generate a brand new, perfectly timed clock. Think of reclocking like a conductor stepping in front of an orchestra that's starting to drag out of time.
Ah, so they don't just yell for everyone to play louder.
Right, exactly. The conductor forces every single instrument back onto the precise original beat. The DA essentially rewrites the ones and zeros from scratch.
Oh, wow. Meaning all 6 outputs are mathematically identical to the original pristine input.
Perfectly identical, complete with all the vital ancillary data, the HDR metadata, all of it stays completely intact.
So that capability, I mean, rewriting a pristine signal and pushing it extreme distances, that fundamentally changes a facility's floor plan, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A production team isn't forced to run 6 independent heavy cables all the way back to the source anymore.
But at a retail price of $655, a budget-conscious producer might ask, why not just buy longer, cheaper cables and bypass the DA altogether?
Well, looking at the user feedback from the HDTV supply sources, professionals aren't just buying a metal box here. In live broadcasting, dropping $655 is viewed entirely as an insurance policy.
Right, because the cost of a failed installation or a blackout mid-show is astronomically higher than that price tag.
Exactly. It's all about uptime. The users giving it a 4.7 out of 5-star rating are hyper-focused on the lack of downtime. And, that 5-year warranty really helps too.
Oh, definitely. And the reviews explicitly mention the support team. Like, there were specific shout-outs to reps like Rachel and Mike for stellar customer service.
Yeah, which proves that when you're in the weeds of a stressful live broadcast setup, having reliable hardware and people to back it up is everything. You just aren't worried about the signal breaking up during a critical moment.
Because the hardware is actively rebuilding it in real time.
Right. It really highlights the central tension in modern video engineering. We are pushing the absolute physical limits of traditional copper wire right now.
Yeah, devices like the 12GDA are practically the only things keeping modern broadcast infrastructure from completely breaking down under the weight of 4K data.
They really are the unsung heroes of the control room.
So the next time you enjoy a flawless 4K stream, remember there's likely a tiny DA working overtime behind the scenes.
For sure.
And here's a thought to leave you with today. As the industry inevitably pushes from 4K up to 8K and beyond, will physical copper cables finally hit a breaking point? Or will these little distribution amplifiers just keep working their magic, endlessly bridging the gap between our screens and the impossible amounts of data they demand?